the first thing I'm going to show you is how to create a copy of a file for yourself. So when you've clicked on the file that has been provided for you in Class Charts, you will get the following option. That option is to fork. Now what this does, as I said, is create a copy that will be saved in your own area. If you try to edit the file at all before you have clicked this, it will throw up an error and say you need to do this. So let's do it. So clicking on the fork, what this now does is create a copy in, as you can see, my own area. Now this was happened straight away because I'd already logged in to REPL using my Google login. Obviously, if you haven't at the point of clicking that logged in already, it will prompt you to log in. Now I have my own copy. I can now make changes to it and add some formatting in. So before I add any formatting in, let's have a look at what this website looks like to start with. So obviously to do this, I need to click on Run. Now what this does is bring up my pretty boring website at the moment over in my viewing screen. And obviously if I want to see what this looks like as a proper website, I open it in a new tab and you can see there my pretty boring website is just there. So the first bit of formatting I'm going to show you is how to change something into bold and then something into italics. So I'm going to choose to put the word favourite into bold. So first of all, I need to select the bold tab. So I type in, surrounding the word favourite, my B tag, which stands for bold, and then where I'd like it to finish writing something in bold, I put my closing tag. I'm going to select that like that. Okay. Now, when I run the website again, you can see that the word favourite is now in bold. I'm now going to put something into italics, and I'm going to put the word website in italics. So again, I select the italics tab, which is tag looks like this. And then again, where I want it to finish being in italics, I put my closing italics tag. And again, if I select run, I can see that both the word website is in italics and the favourite is in bold. And again, if I want to have a look at this on the main website like this, all I've got to do is refresh my page using F5 and that will be updated for me. The next bit of formatting I'm going to show you requires you to use a separate page. Now that page we're going to use is our style.css page. Now you can see in my head section I have a link to that style.css file, and this is where we're going to put the rest of our formatting. So if I select that file, you can see it's empty at the moment. That's because I haven't added any formatting in yet. I'm going to start by adding in a background colour to the whole of my website. Now obviously my body covers the whole of the website, so the first thing I do is tell it it's the body section I would like to change. I'm going to add in my tags for formatting. Now these are different than you've used before. These are my curve tags. Now I'm going to press enter and I'm going to have it written in between like so. So the element I'm going to change is my background colour. So I start typing in background colour. Now as you can see, what happens is as soon as I start typing, it gives me some options. And the option to change background colour is there. So I select it. It saves me a little bit of typing. I now need to choose the colour I want to put it in. Now I quite like the idea of purple, so I'll start typing in purple, and as you can see the options for colour comes up. Now I'm actually going to choose the plum colour because I like the look of that one. I finish with a colon and let's run that. Let's see what that looks like. And you can see when I've run it in my mini website, you can see that the background colour has changed to that plum colour. And again, if I go to the other page and I refresh that page, again, you can see that that plum colour has surrounded the whole of page background of my website. Now with background colour, you can choose to change a specific sentence, a whole paragraph, or just a word, depending on what tag you've used. That will just change a small portion of the website. Obviously, doing the body changes the whole website. The next bit of formatting I'm going to show you is how to change the text colour. Now I'm going to change the colour of the text in my H1 tag. So I need to go to, first of all, enter my H1 tag. So I type in H1. Again, I use my curved brackets and leave a space. And this time I choose the element of colour to change. And you can see it comes up again, but I'm just going to select that from there. And I think I'm going to go for a nice green colour for my title. Now I quite like, look at this green yellow one here, so that's the one I'll pick. And again, follow it with a colon. And again, if I run that, you can see that the whole of my H1 has changed. The next thing we're going to look at is changing the size of the font. Now, you can see already that the font for H1 is already bigger than the rest of the page. Now, the rest of the page is the default font size. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to change the heading to be even bigger because I want it to stand out even more. So I can change a second aspect of this by, in between my curved brackets, adding another line in. Now, for font colour, I need to start with the word, so font size, I need to start with the word font. And you can see there we have font size, so that's what I'm going to select. Now, there's two ways you can do this. You can use it as a percentage, or you can use it as picking a particular font size like you would do on a program like Word. I'm going to start with looking at percentage. Now, 100%, you'd think would be the size that it's already there. But actually, if we run it at 100%, what it does is change it to the same size as the rest of the font. Now, obviously, that's made it smaller rather than bigger. If I went for 200%, it's now going to be twice as big. And that looks like it's back to how it started a minute ago. And obviously, the bigger I go, the bigger it will come up as. So 300% even bigger, and keep going up. And this is where this depends on how you want it to look. Now I quite like that. Okay, and again, let's have a look how that looks on our main website. You can see there it's nice and big now. You could choose to do it, instead of using a percentage, as I said, using font size. So if you think about when you're working in Word, if I wanted something, let's say size 14, I would add for PX for the size, and if I select that and if I run that, you can see that that's come up roughly the same size as everyone else. So it's pretty much going to be about size 14, that is. Let's try something like, let's say, size 32, a good size. And again, that looks like it's come up about the same size as we started. Now for a proper title, I might go, let's say, size 72. And you can see there now we're getting much bigger. Okay, and again, how would that look when I run it on my actual website? You can see that's a nice big title. So that's two ways you can change the size of the font. The last formatting I'm going to show you is how to change the position of a piece of text on the page. So the last thing I'm going to do is move my title, my H1, to the centre of the page. The way I do this again is to add another line in and start writing, which I'm going to change, which is the text align. So again, I select it there, and then I write down what position I want it to be. In this case, centre. Finish with a colon, and let's have a look what that looks like. And you can see now that that's moved in the middle, but obviously it's more apparent when you run on the main web page. And you can see there my now title has moved to the middle of the section. So that's all the formatting I'm now going to show you. What you now need to do is to have a go at adding some formatting to your own web page that you have copied, and see how you can make your look. You can choose any colour you like, you can choose any size you like, but try and add in all the requested formatting.